Hello everybody, welcome back to Back Out of the Case. This is Skyflight 44, aka XII 44, and today I'm going to continue playing some more Final Fantasy 12. And I'm going to be using, like I said last time, Balthier, Fran, Ash for this. I did go and, use quite a bit of license points for everybody. I went after 4 things to make sure everybody had these 4 things. Then one went after the 200 plus health. Could have started going after Battle Lore, so I could immediately go after this argument, which is the 500 plus health, but I thought that there were some other things that we wanted. Inquisitor is one that I got for a lot of people. Well, the ones that didn't have it originally, and you gain MP after dealing damage. Now this one is gain MP after dealing magic damage, which if you have all of these, this is good, and this is also pretty good. And these will help you just be able to use multiple, magics continuously. Though I really don't. I also got this channeling. This was just a 30 LP to get this, and this is just a 50 health. If you really want, you could go for a channeling real quickly, going down this route. But I would rather prioritize health over everything else, because it really does help. Now Kira is only 25 actual MP. The cost's going down by so much. It's wonderful. Not to mention, Raise is down. And Cure, Blind, Poison of Vox are all 6. It's probably be better with you. But Water, which was once 12 MP, is now 9. Makes it far, far better. And more, let's just say, like I say, more of a... It definitely becomes, magic becomes more of a viable strategy. Okay, map 2, whoa. We have to go to both sides of this area and basically just beat. Well, not necessarily beat, but do something so that we can get through the middle area here. And let's just say it's not all that difficult. However, one thing I do want to say about the boss, and which is going to be our first Esper to kill off, he's not all that much of a threat. But if you do go and in battle, if you do lose somebody and they are basically, useless, no MP, they might be dead or something, might just have low health. But one thing you can actually go and do is take out whatever you have and then put in a new fresh party member that might have a shitload of status effects, status buffs on them. They might have complete full health, complete full MP, shit like that. It can really help to that. Not to mention, at that point, you can immediately just use a rise or something on the party member you just lost. I believe it was Chimera Brains. Oh, Lesser Chimera. No, Chimera Brains will be the ones we see in that other place. Lost Soul. We can probably get something better than maybe a bone fragment. We get bone fragments. Oh well. Ah. I know of you. Now these guys, not necessarily now, but later on, different variants of these guys are actually incredibly... Oh shit, I did not know it had self-destruct. Now that's another reason to fear those guys. But they have well, later variants actually have an instant death move. And, oh well. Did not know they had self-destruct, though. Definitely interesting. Hopefully I get Kuraga soon-ish. I definitely have this feel I'm definitely going to be getting it by maybe Mount Brahmisace. And one of the things I don't like about magic in this game is you could very well. There are a lot of shops that it's not like other Final Fantasy games in which some shops, you know, will sell you cure, and then it'll continue on. Others will eventually sell you some of the cura. Other ones will go and again sell you some like curaga or something. That's all handy. However, a lot of places in this game go and basically upgrade their stock, what they have in their store. The problem with this is a lot of different ones do it, and you might not know who has what, so you kind of have to go to a lot of them. Ah, crap. And you get Vassal out of blind status. Vassal's too good. Though he actually has quite good attack accuracy when it comes to just, what's the word? He actually has pretty good attack accuracy even when he's blinded. I feel like there's a technique that you can only use while blinded. Maybe not. Maybe it's you can still attack easily even while blinded or something. What are these? Gold needle, iron hammer, and not a rust. I've never used hammers in this game. I wonder, is it exactly like axes? Because the big thing about axes is that they have, oh well, basically, they go and do random damage. They have high attack output. However, they still do random damage. And basically, it just gives them a huge, a huge range of what they can do. Don't think it's going to be something like 0, but or 1 damage that we would do. But if we're doing like around 240 right now, they might be able to pull out 300, 350, or 400 maybe on a good roll. Now, let's see. Yep, it's right here. This is what we're looking for. Southpaw pedestal. Now, when we went into this area, there was 2 ways we could actually go. The first area, well, the first way we actually went would have brought us exactly where we are now. And the other way would have basically brought us in the same area. Oh shit. Kill him. Yeah, I would expect that. Instead of doing 50 damage like it generally does, or maybe like 80, regular fire did a shitload more damage. And a lot of places, a lot of enemies here will actually do, they'll do something like that. And as you can see, it doesn't go away at death either. Let's just go and heal that up. Again, it's not end of the world sort of thing, but, you know, it sucks. It really does suck, oil. Though, again, if you're actually, if something's weak against it, and you can actually get oil off on somebody, you can do a shitload of damage through fire magic. It basically, either 2 or 3 times the amount of damage, even if it's just 2, that's definitely worth it. And there is a way to be able to oil somebody rather easily. There's an accessory in the game that basically allows you to, let's see. It allows any item you use to use the opposite effect. So, you know, you'll attempt to cast instant death if you try and get off, you know, Phoenix Down. If you use a Phoenix Down on somebody through this, while using this accessory. Going and using a high potion will do the same amount of damage while, you know, will use the same amount of damage to somebody. An elixir will go and do damage to your opponent's health, maximum amount for 1 hit, and will also go after their MP. Interesting, is it not? Now, the other thing that we can do is use a remedy. Or, you know, like an antidote will cause poison. A gold needle will cause petrification. And you can use this to your advantage. One of the things you can do is remedy, which does pretty much everything in the book. Really, really useful. You can use handkerchiefs to get oil on somebody rather easily. And then you can just get off some fire spells. Because unlike magic, items work. There's no doubt about it, items work. I still... That one face actually has a sword stabbed right into his forehead. That must suck so badly. I didn't see level up on Balthier, but I guess it's already leveled up. I can steal money from these things? Well, that's interesting. Can't wait until I, late game. There's like a holy mask, or a white mask and a black mask, which, heals you, which, basically absorbs holy and, dark. While holy really isn't all that, you know, very common, you can at least get, you can, actually, for one boss, it is very, very useful. But I would definitely go and get those fucking black masks. Those are really helpful. As I know, it's the only Final Fantasy game off the top of my head that really tries to do anything with Dark. Dark is a... well, it's not a element that they use frequently. And it's kind of sad, especially with how it's treated. How a lot of the other actual ones are treated. The only elements that are treated well, until water, is, well, water in Final Fantasy X at least, That's a fire, ice, and lightning. You could say wind. Winged helmet. This is probably loot. No, it isn't. Which means it's armor. 13 magic resistance. And it's heavy armor? Really? Oh, that must mean I can sell that thing for a lot. One, because it's heavy armor. Two, because, well, heavy armor doesn't help as much as something like magical armor when it comes to magical defense, magical resistance. Which means that that's actually better than what I have right now. I should be able to sell it for a good amount. Well, a longbow in that one. Ah, and even more damage. Once we actually go and get a better knife, I'll change Fran back. Or, actually, pretty soon we should be able to get ourselves a first katana. Which is pretty nice. Yeah, Balthier definitely doesn't heal as much as Pinello or Vaughn. However, I like saving my MP with anybody good. Darkstone. Have we even gotten those yet? Because if so... No, we have gotten those from those skeletons and skull defenders. Because if we didn't, we would be able to get something out of the bazaar possibly for it. Yeah, nothing there. Right down here. Right there. With this, we can actually get in there. Now it's... Yep, zombie mage. At least it's not oil, because... cloying breath. Well, it seems like it missed. Okay, you're going to be running around anyway, so just heal me up. And look at that. Look at that. Just think if she had magic armor on, complete magic armor, that would be over 500. Actually, wait. Yeah, that was down this way. And nothing else, it seems. But going in here is going to bring us closer to the boss. The boss is actually not all that difficult, though I think it's weak to water. Okay.
Fog? Underground?
Not fog. Mist.
You can see the mist with your eyes?
Where it is thick enough, you may. The nether runs deep in this place.
So, is the mist dangerous?
Yes, but it is also an aid. A dense mist allows the working of powerful magics.
I'll keep that in mind. Can't count on Vaughn to keep track of these things. That's for sure.
Well, sorry for that. Brief technical issues. Hopefully it not as bad as what I think it is. There was for a few seconds, some frame skipping. Had to go and make sure whatever was happening, it wasn't going to continue happening, because unlike something like a racing game like Gran Turismo 3, if that happens, I have, outside of basically starting, outside of maybe, what was it? Actually, probably shouldn't have gone in this door. I have to go back in that door. But outside of, just restart from last save, which isn't really good for me. As you can probably tell, I haven't saved since the session started. Actually, I have saved it Garuda. Even though that is kind of a ways back, and I wouldn't want to have to redo that. Now, the actual, what was it called? The Demon Wall. I wonder when I'm going to kill that thing. Because I am going to be killing it to show off that extra area. So again, there's quite a bit of areas like that. And I still find that being my favorite part out of everything. Okay, for a second that looked like a chest. Not going down that way, but as you can see with that red thing over there, that's our boss. He uses fire. He's, kind of hungry for some punishment. And he needs a new master. Elixir. I'm actually glad I went around there to get that. If you actually look at the mist effects, you can see, you can actually see both here running sometimes. Gonna want to get up protect. And if I go into the license board, I should be able to get shell. I'm definitely going to want this. Especially in this fight. Because unlike everybody else, this is a fight in which the enemy is going to be using a lot of magical attacks, and that's not going to be good for us. I will be changing around the order of the magics eventually, but not right now. It's fine right now. And with all of our channeling, we should also be able to easily deal with the magic constraints that we have at the moment. Okay, now let's attack this son of a bitch. Belias. He's not going to be all that bad. However, he does know oil. All of his attacks are generally fire-based, except for, any physical attacks. But he can, he can do quite a lot of damage if he gets oil off on you. Not to mention his top actual ability, Faraja, will basically go and make anything you do. Yeah, right there. Does a good amount of damage, does oil on you, and basically just fucks you over. Yeah, only 2 of them got oil. But one of them happens to be my mage, so Oh well. Hey friend, can you do cure everybody? Actually, probably should have did cure with I definitely should have done cure with my on Ash as his target instead of just friend, because well, Vossel got healed up too. Well, definitely gonna have to do this. Okay, yeah, that's some good healing. Though I'm not doing really all that much damage. Let's see if I can get off of water. Ah, 300. Let's see if I can get off another one. I want to see how much I'll do on the bar. It does go a bit. It would do even more if that thing didn't have shell on it. Use cure. Once more, it's almost dead. Or cure. With that, over.
In vain glory they arose, shouting challenges at the gods, but prevail they did not. Their doom it was to walk the mist until time's end. A legend of the Nemo.
My family tells a story of the Dynast King and an Esper. The story goes that in his youth, the Dynast King defeated a mighty Gigas, for which the gods took heed of him. Thereafter, it was ever bound to him in thraldom.
So, all this time it's been here guarding the Dynast King's treasure?
Not so. The Esper is the Dynast King's treasure.
That's your treasure?
In this Esper we now command rests a power whose worth is beyond any measure.
Is that so? Call me old-fashioned, but I was hoping for a treasure whose worth we could measure.
I love Balthea. And for, you know, story reasons, I do go and give him Belias. Just because, oh well, it seems story-wise to fit him most. However, it's really, to me, not all that useful, so I'm not really going to be using them at all. The international version, I hear, fixes some of the problems with Espers, which also makes me want the international version. Hopefully those rumors are not false. Oh well, down this way, I guess. Vassal still has oil on him. Oh well, sucks to be you. We're going to be having a lot of cutscenes coming around now. And there's also going to be a lot of shit.
What's wrong?
Your Majesty, we must go.
What? will be avenged.
Well, I'll explain a little bit more about that later on. Oh well, let's get the hell out of here. After I teleport out of here, there's definitely going to be a lot of interesting story developments. And just to throw it out there, Final Fantasy XIII tries to do a lot of stuff that Final Fantasy XII does, but it doesn't get a lot of it right. In a lot of ways, Final Fantasy XII works that Final Fantasy XIII tries to do similarly when it comes to the story, but just fails at. And I'll talk a bit more when we get to Final Fantasy XIII eventually, because I do like the game, more so than other people. But yeah, the story's better. So much better. Yep, strong mist prevents teleportation. I wonder what the fuck's gonna happen. Let's leave. I wonder what's gonna happen.
Such a tremendous honor to again be graced with your presence, Majesty. You left us with such great dispatch upon our last encounter that I must confess I had begun to worry that we may have given your Majesty some cause for offense.
Such a heartfelt display of remorse. Now what is it you want?
I want you to give me the Nethicite.
The Nethicite?
That is a base imitation. We seek Wraithwall's legacy, the ancient relics of the Dynast King. Day-affected Nethicite. Did you not tell them, Captain Azalus?
Majesty, he speaks of the Dawn Shard. That is the Nethicite.
Are you mad, Vossler?
If we are to save Dalmasca, we must accept the truth. I will fight this profitless battle no more.
Captain Azalus has struck a wise bargain. In return for the Dawn Shard, the Empire will permit Lady Ashe to reclaim her throne, and the Kingdom of Dalmasca will be restored. Think on it. An entire kingdom for a stone. You must admit, 'tis more than a fair exchange.
And when all is said and done, your master will have another pet.
Lady Ashe, let us take him for the people of Dalmasca. Your Majesty wallows in indecision on peril of their heads. And his shall be the first to fall.
Well, at least your sword is to the point.
To think the relics of the Dynast King were day-affected Nethicite, Dr. Cid will be beside himself.
What did you say?
Captain Azalus, take them to Shiva. They should have leave to return to Rabanastre soon. I want you to assess its power.
Did our orders not specify that we return the stone for testing?
I will not chance returning with a stone that is yet unproven.
When we return to Dalmasca, we can announce that you are alive and well. I will then continue our negotiations with the Empire. I believe Lars has the key. He'll listen to us. We should trust him.
Who are you, Vossler, to talk of trust?
A son of Dalmasca.
Our equipment here is limited, so we'll be using the ship's drive to make our assessment. Once we've connected the stone, the reaction should be easily measured.
Methods do not interest me, only results.
Fran? Such heat! The mist, it's burning!
6,800, 6,900, 7,000! This must be deified nethicite! The count still climbs!
Ah, we found it at last. True day-affected nethicite. The power of the Dynast King in my hands. Blood alone does not an emperor make, vain.
What is this? Something's wrong!
What is it?
You stand! Hold her down!
What's wrong with her?
I always knew Fran didn't take well to being tied up. I just never knew how much. How about you?
I like Fran's idea. Let's get out of here.
No farther! Sky Pirates, the future of Dalmasca will not be stolen. Why do this, Bash? This struggle is futile. You must know where it leads.
I do know. All too well.
Okay. Now, I probably should have went into this fight with, well, let's just say, my alpha team, just for story purposes. That would probably fit a bit better. I completely forgot. However, shit's going down. Shit is definitely going down. And I like Vossler, but we have to put him down. At least I truly believe that he's thinking, though it may not be true what he's doing is the right decision or the best decision, at least he's still thinking of Dalmasca. Now we're doing a little damage. Again, this is one of the things Final Fantasy 12 does so wrong and a lot of people hate. Ah, damn it. Okay. Actually, wait. I wonder. So Fran isn't going to be put into the Berserk status again. Oh, well. But after this, more cutscenes.
Engine power falling rapidly. It's negative. Impossible.
Engine room, this is the bridge. Report.
What are they doing down
what's
there?
happened.
The Nemesis draining the ship's power!
Disengage it at once.
I want that number 3 unit seal.
Get it out. Critical in 300. Cascade failure.
Ash, let's go.
All I have done, I've ever thought of Dalmasca first.
I know you do. I would ne'er gainsay your loyalty.
Look on what my haste has wrought. Did I act too quick? Or was your return too late? I can serve her no more. You must take up my charge.
This might get a little dicey.
The mist. It manifests now.
Is that what you call this?
What's that? I think it's the Dawn Shard.
Then what are we waiting for?
The dreadnought Leviathan is sunk. The 8th Fleet of the Arcadian Imperial Army lost. As word of the events in the yacht sounded throughout the Empire, quit I Bujeba, citing sudden malady. My true motive, to bring the various counter-imperial forces scattered throughout Ivalice together in unified resistance. By this time, Lady Ash had made her return to Rabanastre. She had not, however, made known her presence. Rather, she was content with keeping both her own whereabouts and those of the Dawn Shard concealed. Had she chosen then to go before her people, my error in announcing her suicide would be known, to the great detriment of my efforts to assemble a resistance. In such circumstance as the Lady Ash then found herself, even were she to proclaim Dalmasca restored, it would serve only to invite the Empire's wrath. Though Arcadia had lost her 8th Fleet, she remained, as ever, a military power with which to be reckoned.
The Rosarian Empire assembles a vast host under guise of martial exercises. It is our belief they wait for the proper pretext, the sooner to make their strike against Arcadia.
The loss of Leviathan and her fleet at such a time comes as a most grievous blow. Were Rosaria to invade, the battle would be hard fought. Had Lord Vane not deployed the fleet so capriciously, we would not now find ourselves in such perilous circumstance.
Lord Vane shall be made to answer for his actions. It is the will of the Senate. Excellency, though he be your son, justice must be served.
A convenient thing, justice. And so I must now make a choice between my throne and my son.
A most lamentable situation for us all.
Oh? For Lord Vane, perhaps. Yet surely Lord Lauser will make for a fine emperor.
Lauser so adores his brother, and he is yet young.
But he will not remain young forever. Already he busies himself unraveling Lord Vane's tangled skein. Lord Larsa has found his role to play and pursues it with some enthusiasm.
Ah, yes. And who would set him at such tasks?
What matter? Lord Vane himself once saw his elder brothers brought to like justice, did he not? At your Excellency's behest,
as I recall.
You may put yourself at ease, Lord Gramis. So long as the Senate watches over her, Arcadia's well-being will ever be ensured.
By your will, I shall bid Vane return to Arcades.
So, it was the Dawn Shard that brought down the Imperial fleet.
You know your stuff.
Destructive power of such force. I've seen it once before. Lady Ash, you know of what I speak.
Nabudis.
The capital of Old Nebradia, Lord Rassler's fatherland. At the time of the invasion, a division of Imperials entered the city. There was a mighty explosion. Friend and foe died alike. Something was there. One of the Dynast King's relics. The Midlight Shard was in Nebradia.
More Nethicite. Well, no wonder they invaded.
That ridiculous war. The trap at the treaty signing. All this because Vane wanted power. He must not be allowed to claim the Nethicite. The Empire must never hold it.
Oh, they already do. The Dusk Shard? Most likely the Midlight Shard, too. Besides, can't they manufacture Nethicite now?
Very well. Then the path set before us is clear. We'll use the Dawn Shard to fight them. Dalmasca does not forget kindness, nor ill deed done. With sword in hand, she aids her allies. Sword in hand, she lays to rest her foes. This Nethicite I hold must be my sword. I will avenge those who have died, and the Empire will know remorse.
You even know how to use it?
The Garif may know. The Garif people live by the old ways. Magicite lore is a part of their culture. They may hear it. The cry of the Nethicite's power. Whispers of the stone's menace.
Dangerous though it be, what we need now is power. Should we declare Dalmasca free without the means to defend our claim, the Empire would crush us. You must take me to meet with the Garif.
They live beyond Osman Plain.
Not exactly close.
Compensation, is that what you want?
Straight to the point, aren't we? I like that. Compensation. How about the ring?
This? Isn't there something else?
No one's forcing you. I'll give it back to you as soon as I find something more valuable.
What do you mean something more valuable?
Hard to say. I'll know when I find it. What is it you want, Vaughn? What are you looking for?
Me? What am I looking for? I guess... Well, you know...
The Garif are said to dwell in Kirwan.
So they do. We'll need to head south, past the Giza Plains.
It is the rains now in Giza. The wadis will be swollen with the deluge. Passage may be difficult.
But those same waters may also lay open new routes to us.
Regardless, we must go south, yes?
First things first. You're eager to be on your way, I know. But we should see that we're prepared before setting out.
I made my resolve 2 years ago. I swore to overcome any hardship I may face.
Man cannot live by resolve alone, Princess.
And with that, so much goes on. Oh, more license points now. But so much goes on in this game. That, like I said before, the game itself, the story is so much more about the sort of the bigger picture, political kind of story. Oh, finally, teleport stones. At least going to be buying 19. Not gonna have to go back for anyone, but oh well. Actually, I can probably sell the rest of them, but that's very much what happens throughout the game story. Now, as you can see, it's going to get even worse. The big thing nobody wants, except Rosaria, is a fight between Rosaria and Arcades. Nobody else wants this. At this point, even the Arcadian Empire isn't necessarily thinking to themselves they can easily win this. And, well, that's the problem for them. Dalmasca is going to be a battleground for something far bigger. And if they have stuff that is, well, exactly the, very much a fantastical nuke, There's something to be feared about that possibility of war. But oh well. See you, everybody. Until next time.